All right, as promised, here's a video on what we did today in class. It's going to be importing some models, adding some textures, and then creating a simple assembly and some animation. We'll see how far we get. I have this already pre-made here. This is what we're trying to make. Today in class, we made a file cabinet and a drawer, or basically a box and a drawer. And let's show you how to do it. So first we need to save our assembly. So let's call this Fusion Assembly for Video. So I've got it saved, and I'm going to look over here in my drawer, my little Rubik's Cube drawer, and I'm going to find the things I want. I want this cabinet, so I'm going to right-click, insert into current design, and perfect, right there, click enter. Then I also want to insert this drawer right here. Let's right-click, insert into current design. I don't want it right there. I want to pretend it's somewhere different, so let's just move it. Boom, it's over there. If for some reason it was upside down at this point, I might want to orient it properly before I click enter so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Speaking of seeing what I'm doing, I'm going to close that. And this is a blackish kind of texture, and I can't really see it very well, but we'll pretend you can. So we want to make a new assembly, these things together to create either maybe they want to be stuck together, or perhaps you want some movement here, and I want some movement. So I want to add this drawer to this, and I can pull it in and out. So to do that, we're going to use this assemble toolbar here, and we're going to use joint. We're going to type J. So I'm going to press J, and I am going to rotate down to the bottom, and this little half semicircle, this semicircle here, kind of figures out where I want to do. So if I choose the center here, I need to choose the center over here too. So I'm going to choose the center here. That's my first component. I'm going to rotate down. And my second component, I'm going to click right here in the middle. If I clicked in the back, it wouldn't be quite right. So let's click in the middle right there. And it's shaking because it's a rigid motion. If I chose revolve, it could revolve like that. If I wanted something to rotate, that's not right. But we want a slider, which it's not sliding the right direction. We want it to slide on this X axis. Don't worry about it going back and forth all the way back there. It's just showing you the direction. That looks great. And let's go ahead and click OK. So our assembly is perfect, but we want to kind of maybe refine a little bit. So up here on the left is joints. Here's our slider. I'm going to right-click slider, and I'm going to edit the joint limits, basically how far it can move. So the minimum, I want it to be 0 where it's at. And the maximum, perhaps I want the maximum to be, if I said 200, that's out too far. If I looked at the side, it's falling out of the cabinet. I don't want that. So let's say 190, which is about to the very edge. Let's pretend that there's actually something in there to prevent that, so let's just say 180 for good measure, and we'll press enter. So that looks pretty good, and I can right-click on slider, and I can click animate joint. Well, let me click off it. And that's showing me the joint. I think I messed up there with my joint limits. Yeah, I said 180, 200. Let's make that 0 and 180. Now that's better. So now I can right-click and click Animate Joint, and it shows me that motion. So that's our assembly, and I'm done with that, so I'm going to click Escape to stop it.